ఇండో పసిఫిక్ దేశాల పరిధిలో నిఘా, లాజిస్టిక్ నెట్వర్క్, సముద్రగర్భ కేబుళ్లు, శిక్షణ, సామర్థ్య పెంపు వంటి కీలక రంగాలను క్వాడ్ మరింత పటిష్టం చేస్తుందన్నారు కేంద్ర మంత్రి జైశంకర్. క్వాడ్లోని 4 దేశాలు కూడా మార్కెట్ ఆర్థిక వ్యవస్థలేనని, బలమైన ఆర్థిక స్థిరత్వం, సరఫరా గొలుసును బలోపేతం చేసేలా చర్యలు తీసుకుంటామన్నారు. ఢిల్లీలో క్వాడ్ దేశాల మంత్రుల సమావేశంలో తర్వాత మీడియాతో మాట్లాడారు జైశంకర్. ప్రపంచ ప్రస్తుత పరిస్థితిపైనే కీలక చర్చలు జరిగాయన్నారు. అలాగే ప్రజాస్వామ్య దేశాలుగా తాము ఉగ్రవాదంపై పోరాడాలని, ఉగ్రవాద దాడులకు గురైన దేశాలను రక్షించుకోవాలని నిర్ణయించినట్లు తెలిపారు జైశంకర్.
This is our first meeting in 2026. We had met twice in 2025. Understandably, much of the discussions and indeed the bilateral exchanges were devoted to the current state of the world. Being Quad, we naturally focused on issues of particular relevance to the Indo-Pacific. Because we are 4 maritime democracies located at different ends of the Indo-Pacific, the exchange of perspectives was an exercise of considerable value. The maritime domain has seen a steady expansion of collaboration, including surveillance and domain awareness, logistics network, undersea cables, training, capacity building, and HADR activities. We will be continuing to deepen these areas in the times ahead. We spent some time on the question of safe and unimpeded maritime commerce and reaffirmed the significance of scrupulously observing international law. Our 4 nations are also market economies. We believe strongly that economic resilience should be promoted, that supply chains should be strengthened, trusted and secure technologies diffused, and production capacities enhanced. Our deliberations touched on the current energy and fertilizer availability as well as that of critical minerals and resources. The goal is to intensify cooperation among ourselves while also assisting others. We, the Quad nations, are open societies who foster innovation and creativity in our quest for growth and prosperity. These forces are strengthened when we undertake more exchanges, as we intend to do. So, whether it is in business forums, healthcare initiatives, or digital activities, each facet of a joint effort makes the region that much better. As democratic nations, we also devoted attention to countering the common threat of terrorism. There must be zero tolerance for terrorism, and nations subject to terrorist attacks have the right to defend themselves. A free and open Indo-Pacific has many dimensions and facets. Our meeting today took stock of the progress in many of them while encouraging exploration in others. In the coming days, whether it is economic activity, energy trade, or maritime commerce, the Indo-Pacific will become even more important to the world. The responsibilities of the Quad will grow commensurately, and we must prepare for that.
క్వాడ్ దేశాలు బలమైన విలువలను, శక్తివంతమైన ప్రజాస్వామ్యం కలిగి ఉన్న దేశాలన్నారు అమెరికా విదేశాంగ కార్యదర్శి మార్కో రూబియో. ప్రపంచ జీడీపీలో 1/3 క్వాడ్ దేశాలు కలిగి ఉన్నాయని చెప్పారు. క్వాడ్ సభ్యుల మధ్య ప్రాంతీయ పర్యవేక్షణ సమన్వయాన్ని పెంపొందించేలా ఒక కొత్త ఇండో పసిఫిక్ సముద్ర కార్యక్రమం చేపడతామన్నారు. సముద్ర భద్రతా విషయంలో 2 కీలక నిర్ణయాలు తీసుకున్నామన్నారు రూబియో. పోర్ట్ మౌలిక సదుపాయాల ప్రాజెక్టుపై కలిసి పనిచేయనున్నట్లు తెలిపారు. అలాగే కీలక ఖనిజాల లభ్యతను సురక్షితం చేయడంపై కొత్త ఫ్రేమ్వర్క్ ను ప్రారంభిస్తామని చెప్పారు రూబియో.
Point out that on the stage today is represented countries that collectively are about 1/3 of the world's GDP, and almost 2 billion people. And these aren't just countries that have economic reach, 1/3 of the world's GDP, 2 billion people. They are countries who share strong values, strong, vibrant democracies, who also are committed to many of the same concepts with regards to economic development and have many aligned interests in those fields as well. And so the goal is to turn the Quad, and 16 months ago before when I became Secretary of State and we began our conversations, we all agreed. And last, I also want to thank India for committing to hosting the next iteration of the Quad at Sea mission, which brings together our respective Coast Guards together in one place on one ship. And the reason why maritime security is so important, beyond the fact that current events remind us of what can happen when maritime security is impeded, is the fact that 60% of global maritime trade passes through the Indo-Pacific, and it's a vital national interest, not just to the 4 countries represented here today, but to dozens and dozens of countries, countless countries around the world. The second initiative is an exciting one, and that is that we're going to be partnering on issues of port infrastructure, in particular in response to insufficient port capacity in the Pacific Islands. We're announcing plans to work with Fiji to advance that country's port infrastructure. It'll be the first time that the Quad partners work together on a project, on a port infrastructure project. We believe it'll be very successful and that it will serve as a model for other projects in the future. The third topic, which we hear a lot about these days, that we'll have some deliverables on today, is the issue of critical minerals. We'll announce the Quad Critical Minerals Framework, which will guide each of us to leverage economic policy tools and coordinate investment to strengthen critical mineral supply chains, including in mining and processing and in critical minerals recycling. Finally, on energy and fuel security, we'll be announcing the Quad Initiative on Indo-Pacific Energy Security that will help strengthen regional energy resilience. And through this initiative, the partners will work to identify areas of cooperation in technology, in management, in policy, in international market analysis, and emergency response exercises. We'll be releasing a standalone statement on this initiative, and the Department of Energy from the United States will be hosting Quad partners later this year for a fuel security forum to further expand on this. So we are beginning to show real achievements and real accomplishments. We are deeply committed to this partnership. It is a linchpin and a cornerstone of our global strategy as a nation in the United States. That's why we're so happy to be here today, and that's why we're excited about the initiatives that we're announcing. And we're even more excited about the initiatives we're going to be working together as these take life and new opportunities present themselves. And I want to thank all of you, all 3 of you, for being here. I want to thank you for hosting us, Minister Jaishankar. And I want to thank India, by the way, for being a tremendous host. We've been here now for 4 days, and it's been a phenomenal visit. So thank you as well for everything you've done to extend such a welcome and allowing us to meet with so many people, and just as importantly, to be